Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Spartan.
And I'm Pudgey.
And we are back watching Breaking Bad Season 5, Episode 16, the series finale. So you heard right, we are, man, I'm sure you know by the title, it ain't no shocker, but we have finally reached the series finale. It's surreal to us both.
It's crazy.
It feels like yesterday we started this series. I feel like that saying never gets old, but it really does. I can remember just being excited over Walt's first moments, blowing up Tuco's building, and
Oh, forget about that. I remember at the start, I think it was like the first episode or whatever, where he's holding the gun. We think he's going to kill himself. Like, it's just everything.
yeah, episode 1, yeah. So just thinking we knew what this world was going to be about, and
No idea.
I'd argue we really didn't till the late season 5.
No, I would argue till last episode, even this episode, like the way we thought it was going to end, it's even more depression than we thought.
I think the episode that killed Hank showed us how dark and brutal this show was prepared to go.
How far they're willing to go.
I think we were prepared for some darkness, but not this bad.
No.
Not this bad. Look, I don't even think Game of Thrones ending was as brutal.
No.
I haven't seen its ending yet, but even like leading up to it, granted, people don't like that ending, but still, like, yeah, this has just really ripped our heartstrings out, ripped our love for characters, and just messed with our heads. And I don't know, like, as much as I'd love to say I'm coming into this excited, and I really am because it's a big moment, but at the same time, I'm just expecting the worst. I'm a little bit nervous to just be at the end of this, be left with just misery. Like,
I still have that small glimmer of hope for like someone like Jesse, but I don't know. I've been wrong in every aspect. Like, I thought we were gonna get that for Hank. I mean, even Skylar, like I didn't even imagine that. Obviously, don't know how these things work, but
I feel like
she's getting questioned.
It'd be too straightforward for characters like Skylar and Jesse, after everything they've done, to just be okay. Maybe 4 or 5 episodes ago, it could have been done. Now, with what's happened, I just feel like it'd be too straightforward, and this show would not take that route. So I'm wondering, what are they going to give us? Who's going to die? How are things going to end up? Is there going to be anyone left happy in this? I mean, even Saul has had to go off the grid. I haven't even seen Huel yet. I haven't seen anyone. Like, is anyone going to be left with a commodity of happiness, or is everyone going to be destroyed?
I don't know. But what's crazy is when we go back to that plane incident, and I was really focused on Walter in that hot pink jumper, and then connecting him to that pink toy, that pink fluffy toy, and that symbolism of his actions, his decisions affect a lot of people. Like, even this massive ripple effect, and they're not even people direct to him. And I just feel like we're seeing that more and more, and we kind of saw that last episode with Gretchen and Elliot. Like, someone he hasn't spoken to for a while now, and he had an impact on creating their business, and now they don't want to be, they want to be completely detached.
I was always very surprised with how little of a role they had in the story. Even though I know what you're going to say, even though they're sort of the foundation upon which Walter goes on this venture, that insecurity about...
that driving factor.
Yeah, and the insecurity that drives it. At the same time, speaking literally, they weren't a very big part of the story. Like, I thought that we were going to go... Oh, and we still haven't found out about what happened back then. Remember, Walter never really fully explained it. So I wonder if we'll get that this episode at last.
Yeah, because in then, Gretchen... So he's talking about Gretchen and...
Elliot.
Well, Walter.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. What happened exactly there? Like, we know that Walter walked out, but what was the reason?
What was the reason? I just explained the reason. What was the reason, bitch? I don't need to explain myself to you. And what was the reason?
Yeah, and I wonder if they'll tie something now. I don't know. But, yeah, when we saw them, I think it was episode 3, and I was like, oh, okay, we're going to, see a lot more of them, and there's going to be an arc centered around them. And really, we just, other than Gretchen's little thing later on, that was it. See you later till this final episode. Like,
Rookies.
Yeah.
Rookies.
So it's amazing. They managed to really build its own story almost completely away from his past with just very little tie-ins to...
We were sweet summer children for Game of Thrones, but I think we need to coin some kind of term for Breaking Bad because we had absolutely no clue.
Yeah, we were like 6% purities. and now we're 94%.
Yeah.
We're heading to that Heisenberg 96 real soon. But yeah, nah, it's been an absolute wild journey. I mean, you guys, we'll leave the sentiments for the discussion, but to think that we're at this point now, and honestly, with minimal clue as to where the show is going to go, how it's going to wrap it up.
I do like that. Look, there are some predictable outcomes, but just knowing Breaking Bad, it's not going to be. I don't feel like it will.
Let's do a little. I think the viewers find this fun, but do
Okay.
you think Jesse will live or die?
Fuck.
I think he might die by the end of this episode.
Yeah, so do I don't want him to. I want that happy ending for him. Like, my ideal outcome is that he can go look after Brock. Like, that's
Yeah.
my ideal outcome.
Yeah,
But that seems too idealistic because really he's got a history in how are child services
Yeah.
gonna allow him to, like,
True.
you know.
Even what you just said reminded me that Andrea died. That's horrendous. Like,
Yeah.
wow. She was so out of the game. She actually got on the straight and narrow for her son. She was moving on with her life. And just because she knew Jesse, bullet in the head, game over. Like, wow.
And I don't want to take her back to the blame, but just to kind of get out of that microscope. It's like Walter wanted to go on every corner, and then Combo got killed, and that's how he met. Like, all these things, right? All these
100%,
things.
100%. Look, Walter and Jesse's ambition has gotten the better of both of them. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, man, they're reaping the consequences of that. But it sucks to watch it. Even for
Yeah.
Walter, like, you guys let us know where you were at with this fence. I imagine a lot of people probably were just pretty merciless at this point, just ready to see him get his due. But I'm gonna be honest, I think we're sharing this, but I still feel bad for Walter. I still seeing him pay the price after all this. Yes, he's probably earned it at this point. I'm sure of that, but you still feel bad for him, and I still know that deep down, there is goodness in Walter.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of bad decisions, and the insecurity got the better of him, and you know he's turned his life to shit at this point. But
I think what people might have a hard time dealing with is that he's a very ego-driven man, and when he should be calling it quits for the best of everyone, there's something that pulls him back, and usually that's grey matter and reminders of that. Yeah, I just see that as like a hurt man. Like, I don't see that as some vindictive. Like, yeah, the consequences are harsh and things like that, and I'm not saying anything is justified, but yeah,
it's understandable
it's
in
understandable.
that sense. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And so I don't expect for a second Walter to get a happy ending, but it will be interesting to see. I've always felt like he would die, but now coming this close to the end, I don't know.
All right, so are you putting in yes or no for Walt? Is he
I'm
going to die?
going to go with yes.
He's going to die. That's what I think.
So Jesse, Walt, yes. Now, Skylar, die, jail, or normal life?
I don't think she could ever have a normal life.
I mean, like,
but
she gets to live with their children in a home.
I think she'll live.
Yeah, I don't know with Skylar. Could you see her taking her own life? I don't know how brutal they're going to go, man. I'm just like...
Because of her children, maybe not.
Yeah. Dude, Holly has no idea. By the time she can remember anything, it's like, dude, do you understand what happened in the
That's
2 years
honestly
ago?
better for her, because poor Walt Jr., honestly.
You know one thing we haven't gotten yet, and maybe they're saving it. I don't know, but I don't feel like we got a satisfying grieving moment from Marie. Yeah. Like, Hank's death was a huge moment.
I thought we were about to see it last episode, but then it was like cut bang.
But I don't know if that's because she needs that confirmation, because they said we're looking to find him, and if she's numb, holding on to some small hope, I don't know. Maybe they'll find his body and we'll see. But I do want to see, because Marie really did love him, and almost like to just validate my feelings, I want to see Marie really grieve and mourn and be upset over Hank. It almost like gives me that closure that, okay, it's...
Well, I feel like
happened.
Marie is kind of how I was a couple episodes ago when Hank did die. Like, I think a lot of you might have thought I would have been bawling my eyes out, and I did get teary. I got teary eyes, but I was more in shock, and it didn't feel real. And I feel like that's where she's at. You know, like, I'm just someone that loves Hank from a distance, whereas she, like, really loves him.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point too. I was meant to mention it earlier, but should we have tissues on board? Like, You never have tissues on board, and like, are you gonna be an absolute mess, or what's the?
I don't know.
Like your call, but I don't doubt I'll need tissues. I'll be sad, but I'll don't need tissues. But yeah, you're unpredictable. So if the waterworks are gonna start coming out like fireworks, maybe we are.
Maybe we should.
A few moments later.
Now, we don't have a tissue box, but I've got some toilet paper.
We've got one somewhere, but
We got one
in the
somewhere.
interest of being lazy, we've got a toilet roll. So fantastic. He's already first. Pudgey's first ever tears being wiped are gonna be the toilet roll. It suits it though, because usually you use the paper to wipe shit, don't you?
So you calling me a shit then?
100%.
Abuse him in the comments.
Pudgey waiting for the haters to come in.
Get
She's
him.
like, oh boys, get him.
Get him, haters.
Oh, good luck. You guys have no chance. I think the big question on my mind is, at the end of all this, the one thing that could make this worth it for Walter is to know that it wasn't for nothing. And so,
Yeah.
will it go to something, or will it truly go to nothing? Because if it does go to nothing...
Depends how bleak they want to go.
Yeah, because if they seize all the money and his family gets nothing, then he threw away the last couple of years of his life for no reason.
Yeah, he literally told the story of his father, how he remembered him, and he literally became that. I don't know.
History repeats itself. Now, guys, a few announcements we just want to make sure you guys know before we get into the reaction. First, we said this last episode as well, but in case you missed it, we will be watching El Camino following this finale.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Keep your eyes out. That'll be the next Breaking Bad related reaction to come out. We know next to nothing about this. I've got no idea of the premise.
I know absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I've stayed completely clear asking about anything so that it wouldn't spoil anything to do with this ending. So we will be going into that completely blind as well. I'm very interested to see what could possibly be left in this world that they made a movie about it, but we'll see you guys there. So it's not the last time you'll see us, hopefully. Also giving you the heads up that our next show, our next live action series to replace Breaking Bad after El Camino will be Stranger Things. So keep your eyes out. It'll already be 3 to 4 weeks ahead on Patreon. So if you want to get that early, jump on there. Otherwise, stay tuned because that'll be coming to the channel. And we'd love to see you guys join us for that journey along with many others. A huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, especially everyone who has followed us on this journey with Patreon that allows all this to be possible for us.
Yeah.
We've had a blast with Breaking Bad. So from the bottom of our hearts, a big thank you. As always, if you want to get up to 4 weeks of early access to our edited and uncut reactions, any series, movies, anything else we're covering, then check that out in the link in our description.
And if you guys are watching this finale over on YouTube, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for our next series reaction, and let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this finale.
All right, guys, for one last time with Breaking Bad series, not movie.
Let's go.
Is he shivering? Yeah, he's freezing.
Yeah, of course. He's unhealthy, he's doing chemo, he's in the freezing cold.
So this is not his car then? I thought he bought a car.
No. He's literally got nothing.
I know that. I thought he bought one like in between the time we'd seen him.
There ain't no way. There ain't no way.
So that's when they came and he was in the car, huh?
Oh, crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Things have never been this simple for this man. Yeah, and this is the car that he has in that flash forward, no? That he changes.
Yep. Tonight's nothing worse than the pain in my heart, the song saying. Yep, sure that's how he feels right about now.
Right, it makes sense now. Remember how I said it looks like the same diner that Todd and whatever met up at? So he's tracking them, or he knows roughly where they are, obviously. Interesting.
Did you leave the money back in the cabin?
I don't know.
Surely not. Okay. Oh no, that's only what he bought in the box.
Oh, damn.
Poor man doesn't have a water bottle. $11 million, not even a water bottle.
I
Like,
know.
Hello, this is David Lynn from the New York Times. May I speak with Susan, please?
Oh my god.
But what we'd really love to get is a photo of Mr. and Mrs. Schwartz to go along with the article. When are they scheduled to get home?
He's trying to find them.
Elliot and Gretchen?
Upper Canyon Road, is that still... No, it isn't. They've... Oh, let me get a pen.
Tell me he's gonna go find them and do what?
Surely not. Hopefully just chat.
What is the earthly point in comparing pizza to Thai food?
This is
They're
different.
completely...
Oh my god, man.
Fucking oblivious. Like, who? Oh my god.
The answer is 21. Yes.
Oh my god. That is so creepy.
Holy shit. But what's he planning here?
Oh shit, man.
This is going to be an interesting conversation, man. We're going to finally get answers, I think.
He has to disconnect the phone so they don't call the bloody cops. Like, what? Oh my god, we're really gonna find out what happened, I'm sure. So oblivious.
This is their mansion.
Everything that Walter pretty much worked for, in a sense. Like, you know,
he lost
he's...
everything to get it.
Yeah. The life that he could have had if he stayed with Grey Matter.
And Bill and Miriam Cohen, we could have a little spa action.
Oh my god, dude. This is too intense.
Sort of wine and then...
He didn't even flinch.
I saw you on Charlie Rose.
Mm-hmm.
You look great.
He saw you and he heard you.
Look at him with the knife. Oh,
It's like, dude, trust me.
oh
I've
my
got no
god,
idea who you're
Gretchen.
talking with.
If we're gonna go that way, you'll need a bigger knife.
He's not the same Walter, man. He's left. Oh. He's gonna entrust them to give it to his family. Because they can launder it through, they make the money.
Maybe.
That is $9,720,000.
Where did it come from?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I earned it, and you're going to give it to my children.
What? Why?
Walt, I don't think...
On my son's 18th birthday, which is 10 months and 2 days from today,
Wow.
you will give him this money in the form of an irrevocable trust. You will tell him that it is his to do with as he sees fit, but with the hope that he uses it for his college education and for the betterment of his family.
Oh, shit.
Why in particular would we...
If you want to give your kids drug money, go do it yourself.
Oh my god. This girl.
They won't take my money. Even if they did, the federal government wouldn't let them.
Yeah, true.
But two rich benefactors who are known for their charitable endeavors would think nothing of, for instance, writing a $28 million check to help victims of methamphetamine abuse.
He found another way out.
Yeah,
To make it mean
true.
something.
My children are blameless victims of their monstrous father, a man who you once knew quite well.
Yeah, true.
Damn, dude.
He sorted out.
You are not to spend a single dime of your own money. If there are taxes or lawyers' fees owed, you will take it right from here.
Oh,
I use
wow.
my money, never yours.
He wants
Oh,
to be
wow.
he did it. I love that.
So what happens next?
I guess we shake on it. And I leave.
Very different intentions than what we thought coming into this.
I hope they keep their end of the bargain.
I know. Oh my god.
She didn't want to touch him. Like, relax. Get it, but relax.
Don't move, don't dare move a muscle. You don't want them to think that you're trying to get away.
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
Just this afternoon, I had an extra $200,000 that I would have loved dearly to leave on top of this table.
What is happening?
He's threatening them.
I gave it to the two best hitmen west of the Mississippi. Now, whatever happens to me tomorrow, they'll still be out there.
Oh, damn.
And if, for any reason, that my children do not get this money,
Oh.
Damn, talk about a threat.
and then suddenly, you'll hear the scrape of a footstep behind you, but before you can even turn around.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
Cheer up, beautiful people. This is where you get to make it right.
Oh, make it right. Make what right?
Tell us some more. I mean, we know the basis of it, but I want to know the finer details.
Wow. Very different to that episode 3 barbecue, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't mind that, Walt.
That was
you know?
pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was cool.
Who's did he hire?
I feel like they're not as scary as...
Nah,
I
nah.
think it was a bluff.
100%.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, that's that Badger and Skinny? Yeah, it was too.
It is too.
You know, I don't exactly know how to feel about all this.
For real, yo. Whole thing felt kind of shady, you know, like morality-wise.
Totally.
Yeah, it won't anymore when you see the money.
How do you feel now?
Better.
Of course you do.
What's this I hear about blue meth still being out there?
What do you mean?
Have you heard anything? Is it still being sold?
Yeah?
That means Jesse's alive.
It's you, right? I mean, aren't you still cooking?
Oh shit, that means the purity's up.
Damn, man. We were sure it was you, because that shit is choice, yo. Better than ever.
Yeah, that all roads point to Jesse, no?
Jesse.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You said he moved to Alaska.
That's what I heard. Right on, Jesse. Passing the torch.
No, he knows. They've used Jesse.
Yeah. I think right now he's kind of doing his sorry tour in a sense. Like he's just
But also closing any loose ends.
Yeah.
He's not gonna have his legacy tarnished with that blue stuff going around. It's his, you know?
Yeah, maybe. It's Jesse. Remember his woodwork? The box? Tell me who made another box like that. Is it him? Oh. Do you remember the story that he sold it for?
Yeah, but hang on. It's too early to celebrate, dude. I know what situation he's in, so I'm trying to figure this out. Is he just living a normal life now? Like what?
The other box was in class, I'm pretty sure.
I remember the story, yeah, but I don't know if this is meant to be like a flashback.
Nah. Aww.
So, dude, he's still like this. Jeez, man.
Aww. How long has it been?
Oh my god, this is the creepiest part. I'd rather he died than have this
It's
life.
been at least 6 months. At least.
And this is after
what we
Gretchen is when he
saw.
had his... Oh, it's time for her to go. I'm sick of her, to be honest.
Hey, how you doing? Good. How's things?
Walt, did you say Walt?
No,
Walt's
I didn't.
there. Walt's
Is he?
there.
No way.
This is sick.
Before you say or do anything, just hear me out. Nobody knows that I'm here. Just listen for 2 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Please. No, please.
You sit down, mate. Down. Down, girl.
I have a new method that requires no methylamine, and it's easy, and it will keep you in business. And Todd, I can teach it to you.
Surely he's playing them.
I can come up there tonight and talk to him. He'd get it. This is a win-win situation.
Yes, it definitely is. Let's go. Let's go get our boy Jesse.
We're not doing business with him. Todd, please don't make me walk you through this.
Walk us through it.
She thinks she's going to outplay him.
You'd be doing him a favor.
So she's saying to off him, to kill him. You'd be doing him a favor. Look at them. They think they're beyond the Heisenberg. They piss me off. You guys don't get to play that game. I hope he ruins them. I know, this is out there. What's he doing?
It is where Hank is, isn't it?
Yeah. Is he setting up a system to kill him?
Kill who? What are you talking about? This is where Hank is buried, is it not?
Yes, but he's got his carbine rifle there.
Yeah, but who's he gonna kill?
I don't know.
Again?
No, Hank, dude. Talk about Todd and the other girl if he's lured them out or something. Come on, Pudge, use your brain.
I don't know what the fuck you're on about. This isn't the life that Skylar wanted.
No one wanted, trust me. Yeah. Here he is. Loving his boogeyman entrances right now.
It's over. And I needed a proper goodbye.
Oh, man.
So you're going to the police?
They'll be coming to me.
They'll be coming to me. Shit.
3 men came in the middle of the night wearing masks, threatening Holly and Flynn and me.
They're not going to threaten you again.
I saw at the car wash, and if you're in custody and they find out...
They're not coming back. Not after tonight.
Oh, yes.
All I have to give you is this.
The coordinates.
That's Hank's body.
Those numbers are GPS coordinates.
For what?
Trying to give everyone closure.
A burial site. That's where they'll find Hank and Steve Gomez.
Damn, dude. Kind of chokes me up a little bit too.
It's where I buried our money. And the men who stole it from us, the men who still have it, they murdered Hank and Steve and put them in that hole.
Finally, the truth.
Yep.
Now you trade that for a deal with the prosecutor. You get yourself out of this, Skylar.
Oh, Walter.
All the things that I did. You need to understand.
I have to hear one more time that you did this for the family.
I did it for me.
Oh, wow. He admitted it.
I liked it. I was good at it.
Wow.
I was alive.
Yeah, man. Far out.
A dying man alive.
Finally faced the truth.
He knew it. He knew it.
Before I go, may I see her?
Oh, to see Holly one last time. He's not going to get to see Flynn one last time.
Probably better that way.
Yeah, it's still hard to watch.
I just feel for him right now.
I do too. I do too, man. It's still a shitty situation in spite of everything. It's the last time we'll ever see her. Far out.
She's sleeping. She doesn't even see him, you know?
Is he going to make contact or just see him through a window? Just see him one last time. That's heartbreaking, man. I reckon part of him was hoping that maybe he'd look up.
I'd be hoping that. He just looks so numb to everything right now, you know? He's got one last job to do and that's it.
Yeah, but he still feels. Seen the tears and everything. Oh, where is it heading? It's been quite a slow pace, given it's the last one. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. But I like it because if you really feel the impact of everything, the emotion, the
Yeah, you're
intensity.
savoring the moment. These guys have no idea. You clowns, I hope you get destroyed. He'll get to see Jesse one last time. What's this chat gonna be like? I'm not ready. I'm not ready. There's too much.
No. Just straight in, man. Just... What do you... All right, fine. Yeah, whatever.
That's for a reason.
Yeah, 100%.
You lift your shirt up. Give us a spin.
Christ, I'm not wearing a wire.
You guys won't outplay Heisenberg. You got no idea.
My wallet and keys.
Yeah, you get them back. Just relax.
As if they don't check the trunk of his car.
They're about to, I think.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's a bit rookie.
That's not a wig? Seriously?
No.
What were you doing before? Shaving it?
Yes.
So the key remote can activate something.
Did Todd tell you what I'm offering?
Yeah, he told me. The thing is, we're not really in the market.
Oh, you're in the market if Heisenberg says so, right?
You really shouldn't have come back, Mr. White.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Todd, he should have.
Wait, Jack. Where do you want it? Oh, gee, I don't know. Anywhere but my living room. Take him out back.
Jack, look, you owe me.
Come on.
You owe me.
Let's go. I owe you what for?
Jesse Pinkman, you promised that you would kill him, and you didn't. Come on. Instead, you partnered with him.
Yeah, all right, let's go. Roll him up. Roll him up.
Him being alive is not him and me being partners. Not by a damn sight. What, you think I'd partner with a rat?
But you have you not?
Where's that little piece of shit?
He's finishing up a batch.
Well, go get him. Bring him here.
Oh, my God.
He just insulted you. He insulted me. All of us. Jesus. Hustle it up. Come on, let's get this over with.
He knows how to roll the man up. All right, let's go.
I'm going to show you just how wrong you are. Then I'm putting that bullet in your head myself.
Oh, I can't wait for his revenge, man.
He's gonna treat Jesse like shit in front of Walter.
Or even just show him the state he's in. They've literally had Jesse just working like a
Disgusting.
robot.
Absolutely fucking disgusting. What is this shit?
Wow, Walt can't let this go, surely.
Yes. Grab those keys, buddy. I wonder if Jesse's gonna be happy, relieved, or scared to see Walt.
Surely he gets the keys.
Cough or something, and then, like, creep. You know? Yes, alright.
Oh, that's good. That's what we need.
Now, does this look like a partner to you?
Walt can't be happy with his fate.
Nah, he's not. He's not.
Wow, that's disgusting, man.
Todd, you get him off, would you?
There's a reason. He's pressing the button.
Yes, come on. Yes, to save Jesse.
He fucked them all up. That is perfect. But Todd's down.
Oh, stupid Todd. Stupid Todd.
Todd better die as well.
Yes. Oh. Did he get shot?
Nah, I think just the ricochets. I'm glad he could save Jesse at least, man.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness. Oh my god, yes, Walt. Yes.
Actually worked in Walt's favour too, because it made the act more believable.
Yeah.
Oh, Todd's getting up first, of course.
Oh, he's gonna strangle him.
Surely. Come on, Jesse. I'd love to see this. Yeah, I'm so down for this. I'm so down for this.
White.
Revenge for everything. Yeah, I'm so down for this, not gonna lie.
See you later, Todd.
Todd deserves it all.
See you later.
You can fuck off, Todd.
Come on, say those last words. Let's go.
Oh, he played him big time.
Wait for what?
money, right? Huh? You wanna know where it is? You pull that trigger, you never.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Doesn't care about the money. Not anymore.
He's got enough for his family, and that's it. Okay.
This is one good thing.
It's giving him the choice, I think.
Yeah.
Do it.
We've been here, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been here before.
Say the words. Say you want this. Nothing happens until I hear you say it.
I want this.
Holy shit. He said it, but will he do it? Oh, he's already bleeding out. So you're right, I think he did get a bullet.
Then do it yourself.
You wanted him to get like his revenge, let everything, all his anger out.
Damn, Jesse's free. I'm glad that happened.
Is that really his ringtone?
Oh, it's her. She's the one left.
Todd, who is this?
It's Walt. How are you feeling? Kind of under the weather?
The Raiden!
Oh. No way.
I was wondering why she was sick.
That would be the ricin I gave you. I slipped it into that stevia crap that you're always putting in your tea.
Oh, he's so good.
Oh my god.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's brilliant. That's Breaking Bad. I was going to say, it felt too straightforward until that.
It's a hard one with these two, isn't it?
I just wish she was on better terms, man.
Kind of feel heartbroken.
Oh.
That
I
camera
thought too,
angle,
yeah.
that camera angle was on purpose. Freedom for Jesse.
How good would that
Please
feel
don't do
for
anything
Jesse?
stupid. Just stay alive, please.
I'm worried. Please, Jesse, stay alive. Give us some hope.
Is this really how he goes out?
Tell me he'll blow up the lab so no one can copy his formula and maybe he'll go out like that. Or will he make another batch?
Nah. There's no way.
He's gonna let them come and capture him like that, maybe. It makes sense. He was to go out doing what he loved. Make him meth.
Feeling alive. He's dead.
Damn, man. I don't know, the song's not really matching my energy right now.
I feel sad that he's gone.
It's a surreal moment. It's crazy, dude, how we ended up in this position.
Tell me that's it.
And just like that, that is the end of an era for us anyway.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I'm just going to start off by saying I do understand now why there is a movie, because I feel like there are things that need to be wrapped up, but that was complete in its own way.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to try and base the series on without the movie, because that's what it originally was in the discussion. But I agree. I do see why there's a lot of things you still want to know about. I mean, the series speaks for itself. It was an absolute wild journey. As a finale, I'm going to be honest, it was very good, but it was a little more straightforward and predictable than I thought it was.
Right.
Like, than I thought it would be, and it wasn't as brutal as I thought it would be. Like it's like the brutality happened in the lead up. It was brutal, don't get me wrong, but the guys that died, I was like, man, like, thank God. That felt more like a happy ending to me.
Yeah.
And Walter's, depends on the viewer, but I guess Walter's death was like almost a given for me. And there was a bit of happiness, like Jesse seemingly gets his bit of freedom.
I was happy with that.
I think that was the big one for me.
So we nailed the ending. Did we not say all this? Or
well, we weren't sure whether Jesse would live or not. Initially, we were more hopeful, and then it got worse as the episodes went.
Yeah. Did at the start, did we say he's gonna live or die?
I think we said die.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like
there was a point where I thought he would live. At some point, that was our theory, and then we kind of swayed from that a little bit. But
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The Ryzen was perfect for me because even though I love Walter's craftsmanship and creativity with the gun, because we saw that in the lead up, and it was a bit more straightforward. I was like, okay, that was well done. Like the card placement is all very smart. He outplayed them. But it was a bit more straightforward and somewhat expecting something of that nature.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it didn't catch me off guard as much.
Yeah.
Although I was still impressed with the execution. But then the Ryzen comes in and you're like, damn, that's what that meeting was about. He was never, like, he's not dumb. He was never thought for a minute these guys were going to let him live. So
yeah. And that's why I was like, why is he lying?
Yeah. And they thought he was playing into their hands, but they played completely into his.
Yeah. That's why they were focusing on the Savior.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what was poetic?
I don't know. So it's from the beginning. You know how there was only one Stevia and it was at the back?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Right. You reckon he already planted it there?
I think that's what he said.
Yeah, because he knew 10 a.m.
Her Stevia, blah, blah, blah.
Damn, dude. Yeah, that must have been it. Wow.
Crazy scenes. Yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying, but I actually enjoyed it because I just felt the stakes of everything and the heaviness of Walter's life and everyone around him. And, you know, it's like he had one last job and this job wasn't any different from any of the others. Like, he wasn't trying to save himself. And
it was very cool. Like, he tied off everything. It's a very content episode. I think...
my point is, it wasn't meant to be a J, but it was meant to feel just so like numbing, like it's this again, one last time with the heaviness. I think that's what they were going for, and I feel like it really landed, honestly.
Yeah, no, it was a great ending. I'm not sure about the song at the end. Like, I know what they're going for.
Yeah.
Like, he died somewhat content, and there was probably more meaning in the words, but I almost wanted to feel the pain of it more, of what, because the journey's been a bleak one, and finishing with a happy song.
Oh no, I don't say that song is happy. Like, I understand
it's a more
what you're saying.
upbeat song.
Yeah, I think I understand it. I felt like that was like a bleak song. Like it was one of those ones where, yeah, like it could be perceived as happy, I guess, but I didn't see it that way.
How's the song bleak?
Like it sounded like numbing in a way.
Okay, I didn't get that effect.
Yeah. I think it was a really well done song, a really good choice because...
So it's only taking you like 30 minutes to get to the point.
I know. Some people are happy that Walt is gone, and people will say that, you know, it needed to be that way. So there's a happiness and a freedom in that, you know, everyone else is free from your shit. But then it's also like, damn, this journey has been miserable, and the pain. I felt the heaviness in the song as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the way I took it.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure if the song landed for me, but I think overall it's one of those finales. When a show is this big, this grand, and this built up, I always need to watch the finale like a few times to really soak it up, because it's just the first time you're just always just in awe and shock and mixed emotions, and there's a lot to process. So I'm also open that I'm probably not going to give the best description on the first go. That's just how it is with these kinds of shows. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because I just wanted to critique things that were on my mind. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think it was a very good, solid ending. It was content. I think we got some beautiful moments with Walter almost letting go of his ego, in the sense that he admitted it was all for him, or a large portion of it was for him, I guess. You know, he wanted to feel useful and purposeful, but at the same time, he also made his dream possible. He did ensure his family would have money.
Yeah.
All he had to do was take himself out of it, and he ensured that they would be free from the police and everything, because he would be no longer under suspicion, so they could live, hopefully slowly return to normal lives.
Yeah.
And even gave, I guess, Marie and stuff the opportunity to grieve, having Hank's body at last, and just get those.
Honestly, I feel like lots of points were closed. Like
It did close everything. I don't think there's Jesse. I'm very surprised by Jesse. I didn't think I wasn't expecting a happy ending after everything that happened. So
well, I'm wanting to know what happens with Jesse after. I think that is something that I'm looking forward to if we even get to cover that. But yeah, aside from that, I just feel like everything had so much closure. I mean, you got to see Skylar one more time, Holly. He got to see Flynn or Junior.
That was nicely done.
I want to see Marie's life without Hank. That will rip me, but it made me emotional, and I'm getting a little emotional now. But it made me emotional seeing her
trying to be the Hank,
and like live through him in that way, protect her sister, and this is what Hank would have done.
Yeah, I agree. I will say I do feel it was missing a scene like when Hank thought Marie was in the hospital with that fake call, and he ran to the hospital, and it was like almost like silence, and he was just screaming. I wanted a scene like that for Marie where she found out Hank's fate. I wanted to really live through her reaction, kind of like you guys living this show through our reaction. I kind of wanted that experience. So I felt like Hank being such a huge death, and they nailed his death, everything. Just not seeing Marie have a bigger reaction to play in the end was a bit of a miss for me.
I don't want to keep bringing it up, but I don't know what El Camino is really about, right? But what if we do get to see the flow on from this? Like, now that they've got that information.
It's hard to say in hindsight, and I am trying to judge it on the series itself, but it's already been 6 months plus. So she might be struggling, that's fine. I think when it was fresh, when I felt Hank's death fresh, I wanted to see her in the aftermath, because we saw that call and that excitement, and we're finally free, and I wanted to see her emotional turmoil afterwards too, because that's what I felt. So going now in the future...
I'm just trying to think, was that... I don't think Marie was wearing any purple. I think it was black and white.
I don't remember her colours. Don't remember.
Interesting. I don't know what the... I feel like there's something to that, if I'm correct, on the colour, but I wonder what the symbolism of that is.
I will say it's amazing writing that at the start of this season, they gave us this flash forward and tied it in right at the very end. We had no idea what would have happened in between. Yeah. And it's the season where Walter's ego and glory peaked and troughed at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, he reached his highest point, top of the world. He became the new Gus, had everything going for him. And then also he reached his lowest point in the end. Ended it.
I think that interaction with Skylar was one of the most beautiful scenes in this. On so many different levels. I mean,
there was an understanding there.
Yeah, I don't know. Skylar didn't rat him out, gave him the opportunity, and that I just felt like was really true to her character. Even still maintaining her feelings, and then for him to just let go of everything and admit to everything to himself, to Scott, to I don't know, that really, really did hit.
Yeah, I actually grew to like Skylar's character a lot more than I thought I would. It's funny, the first season, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like her at all. And with the amount of hate she was getting, I was like, oh yeah, I can see why. It's probably gonna piss me off. But I mean, I don't know. I might need to sit and think about it. But overall, I don't hate her character. I actually think she did a lot of admirable things and fair enough things as a mother. And I think overall, given what Walter put the family through, she handled it quite well. And I'm usually one to more easily sympathize with the father or the guy because I relate to their position a lot more. And yet, even then, I'm saying that I actually do get and respect Skylar's sort of attitude throughout all of this.
I don't know. I just reflecting on everything and how the episode went, I just feel heavy, if that makes sense. And I know that...
I think I'm in a bit of shock. I think I'm still, not processing it very well.
See, I feel like I'm processing it. I feel like... I don't know. I just feel like it was so just well suited to the series, how everything went, and I feel like I'm pretty content with how the final interactions went. It wasn't perfect, and I don't think it was ever going to be perfect.
Yeah, I will say, without knowing that, without assuming El Camino coming,
yeah,
I wouldn't say it's a perfect finale. Because perfect for me would mean there's nothing left that I wanted to see or
Yeah.
know, or, you know, I wouldn't say it was perfect. I felt like it almost feels like it needed another half an hour or so.
I agree with you.
But from Walter's story in
Yeah.
particular, I'd say it was near perfect and very well tied up.
Yeah.
But the other characters, I'm still left to wonder more.
I was specifically talking about like Walter's goodbyes to everyone wasn't perfect. I agree with you in that, but my point was
His goodbyes to everyone wasn't perfect.
as in like he didn't get to hug Flynn and
I feel like that's
have
why it was
that-
perfect for this kind of show.
No. Yes. I agree. Oh, wow. I'm saying his interactions weren't perfect, and I think it suited the show. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it didn't take you half an hour to get it out.
No,
You might have heard it.
You interrupted me like 30 times.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, you've been stuttering like a
Nah.
motorboat. This,
Oh, I'm gonna maul you. I'm gonna maul you. Hasn't Pudgey's coming.
shocked. But I agree, yeah, the imperfect nature of his goodbyes were perfect. I think that was really done well. If you just worded it geniusly like I just did, it
I
was
tried,
amazing.
but you interrupted me and started talking about that the show was perfect. I'm like, what?
Anyways,
Oh god.
yeah, it was very fitting. The way he went out, you weren't able to just skim over all the destructive atrocities that happen and all the brutalities.
Yeah.
But at the very least, he could ensure that they would have a chance at a future, whatever that may be.
Yeah. I feel like the essence or the feeling of this episode was really what Walt was feeling. Like I feel like we were really getting to feel his emotions and that vibe of his last moments. Like there wasn't any fight left in him. It was kind of just like, all right, let's get this job done. This is the last thing I've got to do before I give out. And it carried that tone, that energy throughout. And that's what I felt throughout. So I feel like in that sense, I really did enjoy this finale. There are things that I want to see. Like I want to see what Flynn does with the money.
Jesse's life.
Yeah, Jesse's life. Marie, I want to see a little bit more of how everyone kind of adapts after this.
Finding the bodies and maybe Hank's funeral or something with
Yeah, there's some things that I do want to see, but otherwise, I really enjoyed this, honestly.
Yeah, it was really good. I was thinking about the time that Flynn came over and Walter got really vulnerable with him at Walter's house, and I feel like they would hit so different now because when Walter talked about, you know, the last memories of his dad and how he wanted to be with Flynn, and then you know how this series is going to end. In the end, Walter couldn't stop repeating that, you know, even though he left his family with something. I feel like Flynn's last memories of his dad are probably, I don't know if he'll get older and maybe make sense of it differently, but for the foreseeable future, probably going to see his dad as just a man that lost his way completely and ruined the family, you know, and killed. I think the nail in the coffin was killing Uncle Hank. That was the one that's like, dude, you were involved. Hopefully Skylar can tell him that it wasn't actually the dad, but
yes, now that they know that it wasn't him, yeah.
But he's involved. But then he might still blame him for his involvement, that he was there because of Hank, and I don't know.
Potentially, but what I just realized is, and I obviously knew during the reaction, but he said that he's got no money, he spent it all. So he's pretty much saying, I've got nothing to leave you. And that view that, you know, Walter didn't want to have that view. He wanted to be the one, no, I'm giving it to you, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas how it's set up, it's not in that way. Like, they don't know
And that's what I'm saying. That's his growth. His growth was that he cared more about their future than them knowing that he did it. And in the end, that decision is probably why they'll have a bit of a chance at a better future.
A reason why I feel like this finale did hit for me as well, like just my indication of it hitting, is because I'm emotional just thinking about all this stuff, you know, like I'm talking and my eyes are getting teary, and like I just really felt the weight of the entire series.
Yeah, season 5 and the last 4 or 5 episodes of season 4 were peak. I'm not gonna lie, peak. Like, they took the series to a whole nother level. Like, the series was good, and I'm not gonna lie, this isn't a series I would usually go for or watch. And its pacing sometimes made it hard for me to fully stay in tune with everything because it would really take itself slower than what I'm used to watching with things. It did get better season by season, and season 3 onwards, it got more enjoyable and, you know, a bit more intense. Stakes were high, things were set up, but it was really those last 5 episodes or so of season 4 and 5 where every episode I probably would give 10 out of 10. Every single one. Like, that was, like, just flawless from start to finish. It had me absolutely locked in. For me, that, like, showed me where this series went from good to great, to iconic. Like, I could now see why people are like, dude, this series is something else.
Yeah.
It was...
I would say that I enjoyed probably more of the simple stuff as well compared to you. But we were having a conversation maybe a few weeks ago. You know, we pretty much asked, like, is this a show that you would rewatch? And we both said no. Like, because I'm like, oh, like, I know what happens and
I don't think
it's
I said
fine.
no. Did I say maybe? I wasn't sure.
I think we said no because I just felt like it would be kind of complete and we're content with it. And that's not to say that we didn't enjoy it, because I don't know if you guys can tell, but like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did really enjoy it.
But
But yeah, like, you don't feel like there's anything missing.
Yeah,
But
seeing this finale, I feel like I want to go back. I want to go back and watch it.
I think when I asked that question, I was thinking that. I think your firmness in saying no too made me doubt my answer.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about it now, and I kind of, at the time, that's what I was thinking, that I expected Walter to die, and so I assumed that when you know, especially season 5, how he is, it will just change the way you perceive things in season 1, because we came in and obviously idealistic, and you don't know how far he's going to go.
Yeah.
So everything will be different. You'll notice the subtle things.
Yeah.
I feel like a rewatch would be a very different watch, and I probably would go for one.
Yeah, same. Now, the one thing that was running through my mind a little bit, and I don't know if this is naive me asking, but just looking at Walter then and there, like letting go of everything, and, you know, just, I mean, you guys saw it, right? I don't really need to explain, but seeing him in his last moments, do you guys still think he's a bad person? Like, do you see...
That's an easy answer, dude. I don't even need to ask the people that.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
don't
I know most people will. See, we don't, and most people are going to be shocked by that. We don't. He did bad things. He did destructive things, but he's very human, very understandable, and had life been different, had he found meaning elsewhere, is a very fine line. I think a lot of good people have ended up in similar situations, so I don't judge that too harshly. Like,
Yeah.
it's understandable. I think this show does a really good job of making it very relatable.
Yeah.
Many people probably know that had a few things in their life gone different, and just because your life seemingly looks good on the outside to the other eye doesn't mean that you're doing well on the inside. And so I think it's very understandable. But to your question, I probably think that most people in the community would think that
Yeah.
he's just a villain, but that's also our view on people probably changes that too, because we don't think people are just born bad. We think that circumstances in life can lead to certain outcomes, but we don't think anyone's born bad. And I think that's a good point I want to highlight as well, because a lot of people throughout this journey haven't understood your directness, and a lot of you guys aren't used to, used to Pudgey's directness in the way she speaks, because here we are at the end, and she doesn't think Walter was a bad person. And so in the moment, some people don't understand the nature of a reaction, where in the moment, if he's hurting somebody or hurting or whatever, you're gonna feel that, like, dude, like, just stop. You know, you're gonna have that and voice that, and Walter gives you 1,000,001 moments to do so.
Yeah.
And so, especially when you might be more vocal at certain times, people are like, oh, Pudgey's just a Walter hater, whatever. And I don't think she ever really was. If you actually watch the reactions properly, almost every discussion, there was a sympathy and understanding for what he was doing. But that doesn't mean we're not going to call him out when he's doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Or destructive shit on those around him.
And hurting the other people that we love, you know?
100%. And they're going to be pissed off and hurt by him and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't feel like you were ever a Walt hater. And I think you actually probably sympathize with him more than most people would.
Yeah.
Reflective of your conclusion on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, your Pudgey's can be very direct, which is good. It's very good. She's to the point, no bullshit.
A lot of people aren't used to
A lot of people don't take it. They're like, oh, she's a hater. No.
Yeah.
She just expresses her thoughts in that moment. So
yeah. It took you like years to get used to just in general
sure.
life, let
sure.
alone you guys.
For sure. And I think that's what makes Breaking Bad such an iconic story, whether people realize it or not.
Yeah.
Because he's such a relatable, grounded character, it almost shows a guy that does a lot of bad, destructive things, and yet deep down is very human.
Yeah.
And, you know, people would know that if some things in his life went differently, deep down there was a lot of goodness in him. And I am a little bit disappointed. That makes me think that we didn't get an answer on the whole Gretchen Elliott thing.
I was about to bring that up.
I don't know if that's good writing or not. Like that, they just teased that the whole way through and left it. But and I don't know if El Camino will touch on that.
Maybe there just wasn't that much to say. Like,
yeah, but that's what I think that's a big point because
I think so too.
That's been the
because it's like, why did he walk away? There needed to be like something.
And how does it relate to what he's doing now? Because he's fueled everything. Like the biggest driver was what his life could have been like and that he failed.
I hope we do explore that in El Camino.
What was the reason?
Yeah, I'll be interested to know if any of this come out as well. If they don't cover it in that, I'll be interested to hear you guys talk about it if you know or if you've missed subtle hints. But yeah, last I heard, they haven't spoken about that, and I did really want to. I was waiting to find out more about that.
Yeah, same.
That one, that missed for me, and there are a few little bits and pieces why I wouldn't say it was perfect, but it was still a very well done finale. So I know we're going backwards now, but our boy Jesse, I'm a little bit happy for him. I needed someone.
I'm really happy for him. Like, look, we can't take back the pain and the hurt and the suffering that he's been through, and like my heart bleeds for him in that respect, but he's free. I'm just hoping he doesn't fuck it up by like running himself into a tree or something with that driving.
Yeah, no, he should be alright. It should be alright. I was worried at the time, but now it should be alright. And I am glad that in his own way, Walter was able to right one wrong by saving Jesse's life in the end. Even by putting himself on top of Jesse, he was more in the firing line of any Ricochet.
Yeah.
So
I even like how he gave Jesse the choice.
Yeah, to get his revenge or not. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Walter's character arc really closed very nicely here. He really acknowledged everything. I think he saw things as clearly as he's probably ever going to see them. And, you know, I've blamed Jesse for a lot of things, and Jesse's played his part, don't get me wrong. But who knows what kind of shit Jesse would have gotten into. Maybe just as bad, maybe not as bad, I don't know. When you compare to like Skinny and Badger, Jesse obviously went into a whole new level of shit because of Walter's ego. So it was almost like
that was my point for a lot of my arguments.
And saving him and letting him free was just kind of like, all right, I set you free. Like, I blackmailed you into this.
Yeah.
I've probably been a big catalyst for a lot of this, and now I set you free.
Why do you think, I'm pretty sure I heard correctly, but why do you think Jesse was saying, say that you want this, and that's only when I'll do it? Like, pull the trigger, and then...
I don't know. Maybe... So he didn't trick himself that Jesse was doing it for Jesse. It was actually what he wanted too. Like, don't put this on me. This is... You want this way out.
So he doesn't have to live with another, you know... And I'm sure there's still some kind of... There's something there. Those long glances, those long stares between the two. There was still something. But there was too much to reconcile. He even left the watch, remember?
Yeah, that was a bit symbolic. That's interesting. Yeah, he left the watch, just his watch there. Well, we didn't know he was alive at the time, in fairness.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah, he really wore that watch for a long time. I want to make mention, I think it's very poetic and very interesting that in the end, Walter didn't die by the cancer.
Yes.
That's very interesting. How she died, well, I guess by his own creation, but it's crazy because all this was...
But isn't that telling of the entire story?
It is, and I think that was very well written, very fitting, and it's very just, again, poetic, like I said, that in the end, he didn't die by his cancer.
Like you said, his own creation, and all of this was his own creation, and I get it. Like, he was in a bind, he needed money for his treatments, otherwise he would have been dead. So it's
but
kind
Elliot
of... It's
gave him a way out, so that sort of goes.
Yeah, that sort of goes, doesn't it?
What a different life. In a parallel universe somewhere, he takes Elliot's money, and his family stays together, and Hank's alive, and he granted never meets Jesse, and that's kind of sad, but they live their life, and he maybe lives a few years, who knows, maybe lives a bit longer. Like, they obviously, his cancer was managing, and it probably came back because of all the horrendous stress towards the end, but it was doing okay at some point, but then he might not have liked his life. Like, he seemed to feel most alive towards the end of this.
Yeah. Yeah, he felt alive.
Even him admitting all that, everything that Walt said this episode was great, just to hear all his admissions and
there was like a little smile when he was touching the, I can't remember what it's called, but that silver dome thing where he cooks and stuff, or well, he didn't, but you know what I mean. It was just like, this is my happy place in a way, and it was my undoing, but it was my happy place. And
it is kind of sad in the end just how alone Walter ended up. He's doing, I understand that, but I was always hoping, and it's fitting of the show, but I was always hoping that him and Jesse would have had some more good times. It feels like they were always never quite on the same terms. And when
maybe for like a minute.
Yeah, it was just always the more Walter became something of the lifestyle, Jesse wanted out, and they were just never, you know. And then I wouldn't have predicted they would end on such bad note. Like there was almost a little bit of an understanding there, like they nodded, and it's like it's over, and there's a bit of a mutual respect there in its own way, but it just their relationship went to shit. Like it was brutal. I might have liked. I know this is a very Spartan thing, but I might have liked one more heartfelt dialogue between them. Or I don't know what I was looking for.
I just think there was nothing left to be said.
I agree. It's too much damage done at that point.
I found it interesting, you know, when Walt was in Gretchen and Elliot's new house and, you know, he's literally like feeling the walls and hearing their conversations, and in a different universe that could have been him and Skylar or him and Gretchen. And it was just polar opposites from the cleanliness of their home to their outfits they're all put together and joking about light-hearted spa days and Christmas, whatever they were speaking about, bullshit, really.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
While Walt is like struggling and I don't know, it was just like very...
Yeah, almost like a life he could have had if things had gone differently.
Yeah.
I also wanted to make last mention to Saul. You know, he was a very iconic and enjoyable character. He played his role, and maybe El Camino will cover more from him.
I hope it does.
I hope it does too. And I know people will be like, Better Call Saul will cover... I know, that's prequel, but I want to talk about forward. We got a bit of a send-off from him, but not a full send-off. So almost like great character. I really enjoyed him. It's a bittersweet send-off that he almost sort of symbolised the end of an era with him sort of closing office and now running away to a different life. And, you know, he was a great character. I do miss him. I wish we get more from him, but maybe we'll get more from him in El Camino. I don't know. But if not, maybe craving a little bit more of a send-off from him, but did enjoy his character a lot. Wow. I don't know. I feel like I could probably ramble on about this for ages, but it's fine. It's an ending that you'll keep thinking about new things to say. It's almost an injustice doing a discussion right after an ending because you get the benefit of your immediate thoughts, but there's just so much more you digest later on.
Well, I think the benefit of doing El Camino is that we'll come back and you'll probably hear our composed thoughts.
True. Actually, that's a good point. That's a unique scenario where we do get to add any extra thoughts if we want to in our intro and in a discussion. And
when we go live stream as well, we go live.
We'll chat about our show.
We chat about it with you guys. So, yeah, you'll hear lots of our thoughts.
Damn. Well, guys, all that's left to say for now is that thank you so much for joining us on another incredibly memorable journey.
Thank you, because it's so special that we get to share these moments with you guys, these big journeys that, you know, could have been important in your lives, and now, you know, we carry it in our hearts and our journey, and yeah, it's great.
And in its own unique way, by having to pace ourselves because we've got to edit these and watch it a bit slower, and then getting to interact with the community via our Discord and our Patreon and YouTube comments and everything, it makes the journey feel a lot bigger than it would be if we just sort of watched it quickly on our own. So by the time you get to the end of it, like it's probably like a 9-month or so journey again, and we probably would have watched it in a couple months if we watched it by ourselves. And so it feels like it's just a much larger, significant place in our lives and the journey, and there's so much more to it because of the experience and the way it's done. So it does make these really, by the end, we are quite sentimental about them. We can be quite sad and like, wow, like this is the end of an era. It does feel like the end of an era. It's a big journey. We get to share it with so many people. So yeah, they're always really special. So from the both of us, big thank you to everyone who supported us over on YouTube and over on Patreon. It's been hell of a ride, but one of many, many more to be had. We are going to be going on with more series and more movies. So whether you're on YouTube or Patreon, we hope many of you will stick with us, and we look forward to many journeys in the future. But this isn't the last Breaking Bad journey, because we have one more thing ready to go, which is El Camino, and Better Call Saul probably in the future. We're not going straight to it. For many of you who know, maybe we didn't mention this in the intro, but for many of you who have seen our community posts and polls, we wanted to just rotate the shows a little bit, something fresh, different. We have loved Breaking Bad, but we did want something different. We didn't want to go straight into Better Call Saul, which would be another 9 months of a very similar world, and we just felt like we wanted to just shake things up a bit, because 9 months is it's a long time, and much we love the show, it's nice to get something different.
I also think just taking a bit of a break from the world, you get to miss it a little bit and then go back into it a little bit more excited. I feel like now everything's so bleak.
Yeah.
So going into it will kind of just, I feel like we'll be kind of numb to everything.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure to share this journey with you guys. As always, make sure to smash that like button. If you enjoyed today's reaction, subscribe to the channel for more. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of today's reaction, today's finale. You can finally talk spoiler free, so give it all to us. Give us your analysis. We're going to be reading them all, and we're excited to be able to discuss it pretty free. Take care of yourselves, guys, and we'll see you guys on one of our next reactions.
See you guys.